And then this day happened. And I think this day is the day that actually changes everything. I think this is the turning point. I think this is the day we'll look back and say, this is when it all started. November 30th, 2022 is the day that ChatGPT was released. So I've been kind of playing with these images, and ChatGPT comes out, and I had played with OpenAI's Playground. The interesting thing about ChatGPT is that GPT-3 was launched, I think, a year and a half before this was released. So you could play with this stuff. And in fact, the instructions for how to create ChatGPT were in the documentation for GPT-3. And Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, assumed someone would create ChatGPT, and no one did. So in whatever it was, the beginning of November, Microsoft was about to announce their $1 billion investment, and Sam Altman said to his dev team, you got 2 weeks, whip up this ChatGPT thing. They built that in 2 weeks. So if it seems janky, that's why. I think that we are entering a great renaissance. And yeah, AI is in the word renaissance, isn't that? That just blows my mind. I think it had to be there. That's one of those words, like when I was in acting school. How do you spell renaissance? Like, why is there an I in here? You know, it screwed me up every time. Now we know why. Yeah. So I'm gonna geek out a little bit. ChatGPT. I'm gonna give you a little bit of history, some milestones that I think are important. I was gonna demo a bunch of stuff today, but I'm actually gonna go in a bit of a geekier direction. I really want you to understand how these tools work, because there's a lot of misconceptions about them. I hopefully will inspire you to start using them, but I think it's really important to understand them. 2017, Google writes this paper called Attention is All You Need. They released this thing called a transformer. And a transformer, all you need to know about it is AI up to this point, you could only train it on relatively small data sets. The transformer made it possible that you could sort of point these machines at massive data sets. So that you need to know. The other thing that's interesting to know is Google invented the thing that is now threatening their business. And I personally think that they hid it because they knew it was going to threaten their business, and they didn't want to do it to themselves, which was probably stupid. 2020, they released GPT-3. This was the first of these GPT models that actually kind of worked and started to hit on a different level. November 22nd, they release it. Just to put things in context, my World Wide Web epiphany, all the groovy stuff with the web, to get to 100 million users, the World Wide Web took 8 years. ChatGPT, 2 months. 2 months to 100 million users.